children, welcome to another class of computer lessons. So we have already completed our first two lessons. Today we are going to learn about our third chapter. Its name Exploring Windows and More. That's our third chapter. Then Windows is an example of what? Operating system. Windows is an example of what? Operating system. So, operating system. That is Windows. Then, what do you mean by an operating system? An operating system is a system software that handles or that manages the hardware, software resources. So what is an operating system? We have already learned in our previous lesson. So can you remember that? So what is an operating system? Operating system is a system software. Operating system is a system software. Operating system is what? A system software. Then, what do you mean by system software? System software is a program that manages the resources in a computer. That means this system software instruct the computer or tell the computer to manage the resources in a computer. So what are the resources? We know hardware resources and software resources. So what is a system software? This is a system software. It is a set of programs and that its duty is to instruct the computer or to tell the computer how to manage the resources in a computer, right? So an example of system software is operating system. So can you tell me what is the operating system? Operating system is the system software that manages the hardware and the software resources. Okay? So operating system is the system software that operating system is the system software that manages the hardware and software resources. Hardware and software resources. So simply, what's the definition of an operating system? An operating system is the system software that manages the hardware and software resources. Hardware means what? An example of hardware is monitor, keyboard or other external devices. Keyboard. Then another example, mouse. Then printer, scanner, etc. These are examples of hardware. Then software means software examples, paint program, MS Word, MS Excel, etc. So paint, Word, Excel, etc. are the examples of software. So what is the duty of an operating system? An operating system is the system software that manages the hardware and software resources. It's the first duty of an operating system. And its second job is it acts as an interface between a user and a human. So second point is It acts as an interface. It acts as an interface between a human and a user. Second point is what? It acts as an interface. Interface between a human and a user. Between a human and a user. So here there are 2 points. First point, what is an operating system? It manages the hardware and the software resources. That's the first point. Second point, it acts as an interface between a human and a computer. That means there is a medium in between a human and a computer. That means we need to communicate to a computer. So we need an interface. That's why the operating system does. And the definition of operating system in your text is an operating system handles files and folders, the computer components, that is, and then external devices connected to the computer and any other application run on your computer. That means when we work on the computer, for example, when we open a file, what will you do? Just double click on that file, it will automatically open. Or when we save a file, just go to File, Save button. It's finally saved. So we do not need to bother about what are the things which happen behind the process. Right? Just a click, it will happen automatically. So this is all done by our operating system. So the definition of operating system is operating system handles files and folders, then it manages the components of a computer, and then third point, it handles or handles the external devices connected to the computer, and finally it handles the application run on the computer. So we can divide this definition into 4 parts. So what are they? First, so operating system definitions first point, it handles files and folders. First, it handles, it manages how to open a file, how to save a file, how to move a file into a folder. So that is the process in files and folders. So this type of process is done by operating system. So first point, it handles files and folders. It handles files and folders. And you know files and folders. File means what? The work you do on a computer. That is the file. Folder means, folder is the thing that means that organize the files in an order by grouping them together. That is folder. So first one, it handles files and folder. Second point, it handles the components of a computer. That means it handles the computer components. Second point, it handles components of a computer. Components of a computer. So first point, it handles the files and folders. Second point, it handles components of a computer. Then can you tell me what are the components of a computer? Yes, there are different components, namely CPU is a component, storage or memory is a component. So examples of components are CPU and memory or storage. external devices connected to the computer. So third point is it handles external devices connected to the computer. So third point is what? It handles the external devices connected to the computer. Then what do you mean by the external devices? We can connect a pen drive to a computer. We can connect or we can put a CD to a computer or DVD to a computer. We can connect a printer to a computer. That are all additional parts or external devices. So third point is what? It handles external devices connected to the computer. Okay. So first point, it handles files and folders. Second point, it handles components of a computer. So components means example of components are CPU, memory, right? Then third point, it handles external devices connected to the computer. And fourth point, it manages the application run on the computer. So fourth point is it manages or handles the application run on the computer. So the application run on the computer. Then can you give some examples of applications? Paint program is an application. Word is an application. For example, game is an also application. So it also manages the application run on the computer. These are the four parts or 4 points in an operating system. So what are they? First, it handles files and folders. First point is it handles files and folder. Then second point, it handles the computer components. Then what are the examples? CPU and memory. Then third point, it manages or it handles the external devices connected to the computer. Printer, scanner or CD drive, etc. That are external devices connected to the computer. So it manages the external devices connected to the computer. And fourth one, it manages the application run on the computer. So this is the definition given in your textbook. So reading: an operating system handles the files and folders, the computer components, that is CPU, memory, and external devices connected to the computer, example printer, CD drive, etc. and any other application you run on the computer. Okay, right. Then next part is or next topic is about Windows. So next part is what? About Windows. Okay. So we know Windows is an example of an operating system. So can you tell me any other examples of an operating system? Yes, Linux, then Ubuntu. These are also examples of operating system. Then about Windows. At first, in olden days, people did not like using computer. Why? Because they had to remember the commands in each process that on the computer. That means they had to remember all the commands to work on computer. They had to remember what are the steps or what are the commands to open a file or to open a or to work with the calculation, etc. That means they had to remember commands. Commands means simply instructions. So in olden days, command interface. Command interface. That means the people need to remember commands for operating a computer. Need to remember commands. Commands means what? Instructions. So, all the commands. So, it is difficult to remember all the commands. So, it's a very difficult process to remember all the commands to work with computer. So, that's why people did not like using computer. At that time, the Microsoft came with an amazing operating system, that is our Windows. So at that time, who developed Windows? Microsoft. So at that time, Microsoft developed an operating system. Its name is Windows. Then Microsoft is founded by Bill Gates. So Microsoft is founded by Bill Gates. Right? Okay. So in first day or the older days, they used the command interface. Command interface means what? They used the commands for operating an operation in a computer. They need to remember all the commands for operating a system, and it's a difficult process. So that at that time, the Microsoft company developed an operating system, that is Windows. Then Windows is very popular and it is very user friendly. Then why Windows is very popular? Because the Windows is also known as graphical user interface. Graphical So Windows operating system is very popular and user friendly. Why? Because it contains graphical user interface. So Windows operating contains graphical user interface. Graphical user interface, that is GUI. Graphical user interface. That means Windows is also called graphical user interface. Windows. Graphical user interface means instead of commands, there are some small pictures. Instead of commands, the commands are in the form of pictures. That means commands in the form of pictures. In the form of pictures. So commands in the form of pictures, and these small pictures is known as icons. These small pictures is known as what? Icons. So in graphical user interface, commands are used in the form of pictures, and that pictures is known as icons. So that is a graphical user interface. A graphical user interface consists of files or icons, then options, then menus. So graphical user interface consists of files, icons or menus. Then, so that's why the Windows operating system is very friendly and it is made easier to work with the computer, right? So Windows is also known as graphical user interface. Its short name is GUI. Then GUI stands for what? Graphical user interface. Then what is its specialty? That means commands are used in the form of pictures and that is known as icons, right? Then we will go to the definition of graphical user interface. A graphical user interface or a GUI consists of icons, files and menus on which a user can simply click to make them work. You do not need to remember the complex command lines. So what is the definition of GUI? Graphical user interface, and it's short for GUI. First, GUI consists of files, menus and icons. It consists of files, icons and menus and menu. And second point, the user can simply make a click to work with them. That means simply click to make them work. User can simply make them to work. Simply click to make them work. Click to make them work. Then you do not need to remember the complex commands. You do not need to remember complex commands. Do not need to remember complex commands. Complex commands. So these are the 3 points in the definition of graphical user interface. First point, it consists of files, icons, etc. Then the user can simply click to make them work. That means to make computer to work. When we click a file, that means when we double click a file, it will open, right? So it's very easy to work with a computer. That is the point. The user can simply click to make them work. And third, we do not need to remember the commands when we used in olden days. So that means it is very user friendly. You do not need to remember all the complex commands. So that's the definition. A graphical user interface or a GUI consists of icons, files and menus on which the user can simply click to make them work. You do not need to remember the complex command lines. Okay, then who developed the Windows operating system? Microsoft. And the Microsoft company was founded by Bill Gates. Next is history of Windows operating system. So next topic is what? History of Windows operating system. History of Windows operating system. In our first chapter, generation computers, second generation computers, third generation computers, fourth generation computers and fifth generation computers. So here also the versions of Windows or the history of Windows. As the generation progressed, there are automatically it will be updated. New features will updated on the new versions of the Windows. Okay, so let's see the history of Windows operating system. And in first 1985, the Microsoft developed the Windows version 1.0. So in the year of 1985, they came with an operating system Windows 1.0. Windows 1.0. Then after 2 years, that is 1987, they came with some updation in this Windows, that version is Windows 2.0. Windows 2.0. Then after 3 years, 1990, they came with some updations of that Windows, that is Windows 3.0 version. Windows 3.0. And then 1993, another Windows version, that is Windows NT. Windows NT. Yes, so in 1985, the first version is Windows 1.0, and 1987, the second version, that is Windows 2.0, and 1990, the third version, Windows 3.0, and 1993, the version is Windows NT. Then after 2 years, 1995, there is another version of Windows, that is Windows 95. Windows 95. Then after, in the year of 1998, the next version is Windows 98. Windows 98. Then in the year of 2000, that is Windows ME. Then in the year of 2001, Windows XP. 2001, they came with another version of Windows, that is Windows XP. Windows XP. Then in the year of 2007, that is the Windows version is Windows Vista. 2007, Windows Vista. Then in the year 2009, Windows 7. Windows 7. Then after 3 years, 2012, Windows 8. Then 2015, Windows 10. Windows 10. Right? So the history of Windows operating system in the year of 1985, they came updations in the Windows, and they came with some features, some additional features in that Windows, that is Windows 2.0. Then in 1990, Windows 3.0. 1993, Windows NT. Then 1995, Windows 95. 1998, Windows 98, and in the year of 2000, Windows ME, and 2001, Windows XP. Then 2007, Windows Vista, and 2009, that is Windows 7, and in the year 2012, Windows 8, and now the latest version 2015, that is Windows 10. This is the history of Windows operating system. But in this chapter, we are going to learn about the Windows 7, that is developed in the year 2007. Right? Okay. Then there are also many other versions of these Windows will be came into existence, like Windows 8.1, etc. And now let's go to the next topic about Windows 7. Windows 7, that's in the year 2009. So, in Windows 7, it is made easier to work with that operating system, because the main features of Windows 7 are we can manage files, find information, customize desktop. That's the first 3 points in the features of Windows 7. What are the points? First, we can manage files through this operating system very easily. First one, manage files. Then, second point, we can search the information. That is, we can find information. Find information. Then, third one, customize desktop. Customize. There are some icons in that Windows 7. So, we can easily find the application you want to open or you want to work with it. That is, customize desktop. So these are the main 3 points in Windows 7. First, we can manage the files very easily. Then we can find the information, and then we can easily do customize desktop. Then there are also another features like advancements in the field of touch or speech and handwriting recognition. That is advancement in touch, speech and handwriting recognition. And writing recognition. Okay, so it manages files, we can find information, customize desktop, then advancement in touch, speech and handwriting recognition. So these are the main features in about what Windows 7. Then next is there are 6 editions of Windows 7. So let's see what are the 6 editions of Windows 7. So first edition is editions. First is Windows 7 Starter. So first edition is Windows 7 Starter. Windows 7 Home Basic. Windows 7 Home Basic. Then third edition, Windows 7 Premium. Windows 7 Home Premium. Then next edition, Windows 7 Professional. Right? Yes. Windows 7 Professional. The next edition, Windows 7 Enterprise. Right? Windows 7 Enterprise. Windows 7 Enterprise. Then extension Windows 7 Ultimate. Windows 7 Ultimate. So these are the 6 editions of Windows 7 and it was developed in the year of 2001 to 2009. Windows 7 Starter, Windows 7 Home Basic, Windows 7 Home Premium, Windows 7 Professional, Windows 7 Enterprise and SC. Windows 7 Ultimate. These are the 6 editions of Windows 7. Then let's go to the another version of Windows, that is Windows 8. So next version is what? Windows 8. And in Windows 8 there are more advanced features when we compare to the Windows 7. That means in Windows 7 there is a desktop and there are some icons in it. But in this Windows 8, the desktop is replaced by some tiles or home screen. Windows 7 in desktop is replaced by home screen. That is, so next version is Windows 8 and it is developed in the year of 2012. So the main points in Windows 8 is, first point, there is a difference between Windows 7 and Windows 8 is first advancement of some features in Windows 8. So first one is desktop is replaced by home screen. Desktop is replaced by home screen. Then second point, in Windows 7 there are many icons in it, but in Windows 8 there is no icons, but instead of that there are some tiles. No icons. Instead of that tiles is present. Tiles is present. So when we click that tile, we can open any application in that Windows 8 version. So Windows 8, what are the two peculiarities? First, desktop is replaced by home screen and there is no icons. Instead of that, there will be a tile in it. When we click that tile, we can go to the application. So next topic is use the start menu. Use the start menu. We know in Windows 7 desktop there is a start button at the bottom side of the screen. That means it is placed or it is located at the left side of the desktop. There is a start button. So here we are going to learn about use the start button. When we click the start button, we can go to any other options in that computer or any other applications in the computer. There is the start button. Start buttons contain icons for programs, files and folders. So when we click that start button, we can go to the programs or application, files or folders, etc. Then next is how to open a program. Opening a program. Opening a program. So how to open a program means first one is just search that search bar, or otherwise just click the start button and then click all programs. Then you can select the program you want to open. So first go to start button, all programs, the applications you want to select. So what are the steps? First go to start button. Start button. Then second step, select all programs. Select or click all programs. All programs contain all the applications you installed on the computer in an alphabetical order. So click all programs, then select the or click the application you want to open. Application you want to open. So what are the three steps? First, go to start button. Then second, click the all programs. And third one, click the application you want to open. Then next is, look at your textbook. So next topic is what right pane of start menu contains. So in this screen, there is two parts, a left pane and a right pane. So in that picture, the white colored screen is left pane and the blue colored is right pane. Right? Then left pane means is left pane. It is the start. It's where the start button located. So you can go to the applications you want to search for that start button. And the right pane, it contains some options. So let's go to that part. First is personal folder. Personal folder. So first one is right pane, and the first part is personal folder. Personal folder. Personal folder means it contains the user account that is currently loading that Windows. That is the personal folder. It contains the person's documents, files, music, pictures, etc. For example, here the username is Ishi and that folder contains that user specific files, documents, music, pictures, etc. That is the personal folder. Right? Second one is documents. Documents. So here is the option documents. When we click the documents, it opens and go to the documents folder. So that document contains text files, presentation files like PPT or Word files, etc. Documents means it contains or it stores the document files. So when we click, go to the storage or go to the folder of documents. Right? Then third one is pictures. Pictures. When we click the pictures option, so it go to the picture file that you stored the the digital pictures or graphical pictures, etc. So pictures option means when we click the picture options, go to the picture folder that contains the pictures you already saved in your computer. Then next is music. Music means when we click the music file, that go to the music folder that contains the songs or any audios you already saved in that folder, that is music. So music opens the music folder. Then fifth one, games. Games. So games means it opens the game folder, so you can access all the games you installed on the computer. Then sixth one, computer. Computer means when we click this option computer, you can access the drives and or any drives or any external devices connected to the computer. That is, when we click the computer, you can go to the all drives in the computer, and also if any external device is connected to the computer, you can see that and open it. Then next is control panel. 7. Control panel. Control panel means from here you can change the settings in the computer. That's the control panel. Then 8. Devices and printers. Devices and printers. That means here